Hey, Ty, what are you listening to?
Oh, hey, I'm listening to some cool video game music. You want to listen to it with me?
Video game music? What the hell is that supposed to be?
Oh, it's just some funny music I like to listen to.
Don't you listen to anything normal? Why are you listening to tracks from a video game? Are you a geek? A nerd?
How am I supposed to respond to that?
Never mind, shut up. You're a loser anyway.
Okay. There are four things I look for the most when it comes to video games. A game's ability to tell a story, a game's, gameplay, the art direction, and the music. If you were to ask me which one is the highest out of all these, well, it'd be the story and the music. What? I'm only allowed to have one at the top? Well, screw you. This is my delivery. I get to make the rules here. If your game plays terribly, I could care less as long as the story and the music are good. Games don't have to look good, but if they do, that's always a plus. So the art is in a middle ground for me. For today's grand delivery, I'll be going into some of my favorite examples of this. So buckle up as we take a deep dive into some of my favorite tracks in this special video called Music I Love in Video Games. Oh, Live Live. Yes, it's pronounced like that. Stop pronouncing it incorrectly. This game means so goddamn much to me. To briefly explain this game, it's a game that takes place in many timelines, each with their own unique type of music genre, art style, and story. For example, you got the period Edo Japan with instruments straight out of Japanese culture, taiko drums, and the shakuhachi that plays throughout. Do you hear that bass line as well? Man, it's so damn funky. Let's get a listen to that amazing battle music too. Man, it kicks. It makes you want to kick butt as a cool badass ninja. Wait, we're supposed to be stealthy? Ah, shoot. Never mind. Let's play it quiet then. Another great example is the Wild West. Taking a listen to the Wanderers theme, you get the feeling of being a cool and awesome cowboy. A lot of traditional instruments like fiddles and bells. You got a trusty guitar and of course, whistling. Beautiful. These are some of just the many great examples that this game has to offer. There is one specific track that I want to talk about the most, and that's the most memorable one from this game. After each and every chapter, there's always a build-up to a big, bad boss. It's always the most anticipating part about each chapter. You ask yourself, who are you even up against? What sort of monster is awaiting you at the end of the road? At the end of your long journey? Will you be able to take the heat, or will you die trying? No matter what, you cannot quit. You have to win, and you won't give up without putting up the best fight you got. This is Megalomania. It's exhilarating and one of my favorite themes in the game. It pumps you up. Needless to say, Yoko Shimomura and everyone else who worked on this amazing soundtrack need to be credited for their amazing work on Live Alive. The music and story were so inspiring that even a certain somebody created a track that almost mirrors this one. It's absolutely incredible, and I just had to dedicate a portion of this video to my favorite all-time RPG. Let's dial it down a bit and get into a more chill section. If you ever been to one of my streams, I'm often listening to tracks from the video game Flower, Sun, and Rain. Basically, you play as a man named Sumio Mondo, and you're a searcher. You're searching for a bomb in an endless loop at Paradise. I would give you more than that, but I don't think it's necessary since I want to eventually dedicate a separate video to it. Its unique nature of being a walking simulator with puzzles and mysteries makes it one of the most unique video games I've ever played. I think it's really awesome to hear that a lot of these tracks are classical tunes remixed by the amazing composers Masafumi Takada and Shingo Yasumoto, aka Torn. Let's give an ear to Gymnopedie. It's beautiful. It's honestly the perfect music to relax and drink some tea to. Hey, would you look at that? There's even a remix of my favorite classical tune, Clair de Lune by Debussy. It's absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, the only version of this game that is localized is the DS version. The music sounds so muddled down and it doesn't sound as great. It's a shame because when you listen to tracks and see the beautiful scenery in the PS2 copy of this game, you can't help but wonder if we'll ever get a remaster or a remake of this wonderful game. I guess only time can tell. There's so many games that I can talk about when it comes to music, but I really should mention No More Heroes. Yes, of course, I was going to bring up this title. This is a Courier of C69 game. I've actually worked with some of the amazing composers before, specifically the Okamura Music Group and Kazuhiro Abo, aka Mibi. There's so many amazing tracks that match the vibe that this game drops. Let's see here. Oh, here's a good one. By the end of Travis Strikes Again's DLC, you get to face a boss named Silverface. By this point of the game, you've gone through all of the trials and the hardest levels of this game. You've done it all, and frankly, both you and Travis have become different individuals altogether. Silverface is like a reflection to your progress, and the track matches the vibe perfectly. Like the beginning of the track has it rewinding Travis's theme, and makes it feel like you're fighting for the future. It's so thrilling.
Until the fucking die BOSS からまだまだまだやりたい BOSS Until the fucking die BOSS からまだまだまだやりたい俺はボスです BOSS Look at my necklace かなりシャイ
I also want to give a big shout out to Tony Astro, who worked on the soundtrack for No More Heroes 3. The track that they worked on is one of my favorite fights in that game with Gold Joe. It's so awesome, it's just groovy, and it's such a vibe to take down Gold Joe with. Definitely a track to remember. Oh, who would I be if I forgot the banger that is Itadakimasu? This track plays when you enter the sushi shop, featuring the amazing group Okamura, alongside with Mibi.
Yeah. Wrap it up. I get the raw and I wrap it up. Yeah. Snacking up. Then with the beef, I'ma stack it up. Yeah. Better rice. I lay it down, then I nap it up. I'm on a roll and I'm macking up. Yeah. Hey, roll it on. Roll it on.
Elder and Master sound fantastic. Honestly, it was so astonishing to hear this the first time around. It's crazy hearing rappers and DJs that you've heard before appear in a video game series that you love so much. I hope to work with them again in the future. Maybe for some special events or something. Who knows? I want to dedicate this last section to Final Fantasy, specifically 14. I have a lot of history with Final Fantasy, and I love this game a lot. It's a game that my friends and I play so often that we bleed hours on end just hanging out and having a great time. It's an experience that I would never trade off. I just wanted to let my friends know that I appreciate them a lot and this game. Thank you peeps, so much. Y'all help me create and do many amazing things. Alright, let's talk about one of the main key points about this game that makes it so special to me and many others: music. The compositions in this game are so beautiful, ranging from memorable tracks from former Final Fantasy games down to some new ones created solely for the game. There are even tracks that are through collaborations with other games. To put it lightly, this game has a lot of music to cover. I guess the one I want to bring up, or the ones that I want to bring up, are heavy spoilers, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. If you plan on playing the game, this is your final warning. Initially, I wanted to bring up a different moment in the video game, but I decided at the last minute to bring this other one up, so please excuse my untidy composure. Shadowbringers patch 5.5 introduced the finale of the Nier raids. While I wasn't present for the release, I was able to experience it later on with a couple of friends on call. I'm a big fan of Yoko Taro's work, but despite this, the Nier raids were very divisive among the community of 14. Some people actually despise these raids. Some say it's good, but could have been something else entirely, but that's besides the point. After all, this is what other people think. This is my video. It's how I feel. And I really like these raids, mainly for the music, but I also have like a bunch of glamour from these raids. I really like it a lot. It's really cool. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked here. Music, yes. So the final raid, Tower at Paradigm's Breach, features many cameo tracks from Keiichi Okabe. Our first track is Emile Despair, with a choir and an amazing orchestration. Another example is this track named Song of the Ancients. It's some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard in the world. vocals are in an exclusive language for that game, sung by Emmy Evans, alongside with an epic orchestration. So you're probably asking me, Ty, you brought up 14, yet you're here talking about Nier music. What's up with that? Oh, hold up, I'm getting there. The third fight plays the sound of the end in two different versions. The regular version and the other in a hacking simulation similar to 9S's minigame from Automata. In between fights, the track Morning plays, just to settle your emotions in for the next big impact, a mixed choir with strings. Right after these three big fights, you get to the final fight of the raid. I need you to understand how I was feeling at this point. References to my favorite video games, hearing tracks, and just having memories flooding back to me of the amazing time I had with the Nier games. I thought at this point, there's no way they could top this. There's absolutely nothing they can do that can top this. But little did I know, oh man, little did I know. The final track that plays for the first half of the final boss is Possessed by Disease. These vocals were done by Nakagawa Nami, who worked on the original Nier. I was also just losing my mind at the rings in this fight. I was like, holy crap, I've seen those before, as my PTSD kicks in having to do rhythm songs in the Drakengard video games. And then it happened. The boss stuns the whole raid with a raid-wide attack called the Eminence and summons something from the sky, from the seed of destruction. The whole battle arena changes and you are in an unfamiliar territory, at least to many people, but I knew it from anywhere. The bells started to ring as they did before to play one of the most memorable collaborative tracks. And she descends. Her inflorescence. To many people, this moment may not mean much, just another boss to kill. But to me, I was crying on call. I couldn't describe the emotions I was feeling at that moment. I saw something incredible. While this is going, the bells are ringing and then it plays Kaine's theme in the background. it was heartbreaking. I spent a lot of time on Yoko Taro's video games, and it's just so many emotions. I didn't think Final Fantasy XIV could just bring that, but then I keep forgetting this is Final Fantasy XIV. This is just what they do. And then it kicks in right at the chorus. You hear the Final Fantasy theme. And it is so goddamn beautiful. You know that original picture about storytelling with music? That's what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Goddamn, this is amazing. With that being said, that wraps up today's delivery. This letter was in the works for quite a while, and I'm very happy with it. There are so many different examples of incredible storytelling with great music that I wanted to share, but couldn't in this delivery. I hope if you enjoyed this delivery that you would consider leaving a comment about your own experiences with music in video games. Who knows, maybe I'll make a part 2 featuring content that wasn't in this letter, and maybe even suggestions from viewers. Thank you once again, and please consider subscribing to support my office. I will see you peeps next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
So what was the point? You just spent all that time talking about stuff you like.
Well, yeah, I like cool music from video games. That's pretty much the point of it.
That's stupid. We already have plenty of videos like that. Why would you do something that's not innovative at all? You barely spoke about anything important. You didn't even talk about my favorite game, One Piece Mansion on the PlayStation. Why are the games just stuff that is mid?
Well, that's because... Wait a second, you like video game music? Why didn't you say...
Shut up, you're stupid. You speak too much.
Oh, okay.